Welcome to my journey through the Bible. This will be a summary of 1 King chapter 20, verses 1 through 43. Now, Ben-Hadad was the king of Syria, and he gathered his men together for war. He joined along with 32 other kings and horsemen and chariots to siege Samaria. He also sent a messenger to Ahab, the king of Israel, saying that your silver, your gold, your wife, your children, and all of your goodness will be mine. And the king of Israel had said that he would do according to all the king had asked. And then Ben-Hadad had sent his servant to the king of Israel, and he said, "You will give to me your wives, your children, your silver, and your gold. And this time tomorrow I will send another messenger, and he will walk through your house, and he will take what pleases him." Now Ahab had sent for the elders of his people and said, "Do you see the mischief that this king has against me? I have not denied him anything." And the elders said, "Do not consent to this." Ahab had sent through the messenger, "I will do all that you have asked at first, but the second thing you have asked I will not do." When Ben-Hadad had got this message, he had been drinking, and he said, "May the gods do to me if I do not make Syria dust by this time tomorrow." And then when this was told to the king of Israel, he sent back, "Do not boast about what you have not done." And when Ben-Hadad had received this message along while he was drinking, he was very upset and sent his men in array so that they would be ready for war. Now a prophet had came to Ahab, the king of Syria, and said, "Do you see this multitude? The Lord the God will deliver them into your hands so that you will know that he is the Lord." Now Ahab had said, "Whom? By whom?" And the prophet said, "The Lord said that even the young men of the prince of the province." Now Ahab said, "Who will order this battle?" And the prophet said, "You will." So Ahab had numbered the young men of the province, and they were 232, along with Israel of 7,000. And the men had went out at noon. Ben-Hadad had been drinking, and when word had came to him that the men of Samaria had came out, the king said, "Bring them to me alive, whether they have came for war or whether they have came for peace." And the young men of the province had came along with the army behind them, and each man killed the man that came up against him. And the Syrians had fled, and Israel had went after them. Now the king of Syria had escaped on horse along with some of the other horsemen. But the king of Israel had killed the horses, the chariots, and there was a great slaughter of the Syrians. Now the prophet of the king of Israel had said, "Go and strengthen yourself, for in 1 year they will come and attack you again." And the servants of the king of Syria had said, "Their God is a God of the hills, so they were stronger than us. We need to regroup, and we will plan to have war in the plains, and then we will be stronger than them." And they told the king to take every man and replace him for each man that he has lost, man for man, horse for horse, and chariot for chariot. And then we will go and fight in the plains, and we will be stronger than them. And so the king of Syria had did all that they had told him. And then in 1 year, the king of Syria had returned to fight against Israel. Now Israel had pitched out their tent, and they were like two small children, while the army of the Syrians had covered the whole country. And then the man of God had came and spoke to the king of Israel, and he said, the Syrians have said that God is the God of the hills, and that is why you have won this battle. But he is not a God of the valley. So the Lord will deliver this multitude into your hands, and they will know that the Lord is God. So Israel had pitched their tent for 7 days, and on the 7th day they went out to war, and they killed over 100,000 men of the Syrian army. And the rest had fled to a nearby city, and 27,000 of the men had a wall fall upon them. And then the servants of Ben-Hadad had said, the kings of Israel are merciful. We should put sackcloth on us and a rope around our neck, and they will let us live. So they did this, and they went out to the king and said, please let us have our lives. And the king of Israel said, is Ben-Hadad still alive? He is my brother. Now the servants had questioned, Ben-Hadad is your brother? And Hadad had said, go and bring him to me. When Ben-Hadad had came to the king of Israel, he said, my fathers have taken your father's land, and that will be restored to you. My fathers have made roads through your country, and now you may make roads through my country. Ahab had said, I will send you away with this covenant. Now the son of the prophet had said to his neighbor, the word of the Lord has came to me. Hit me, I pray. But the man would not hit him. He refused. And then it was said, because you will not listen to the word of the Lord, then a lion will kill you when you depart from me. And when the man had departed, a lion had found him and killed him. And then the son of the prophet had found another man and said, hit me, I pray. And this man did hit him and wounded him. Now the prophet had departed and disguised himself with ashes. And when the king had came by, the prophet had cried out to him, O king, your servant went out to battle. And a man had turned to the side and had brought me here. So keep this man for my life, for his life, or give me a talent of silver. And the king said, you will be judged because you have made this decision. And then the man, the prophet, had took off the ashes off of him, and the king realized who he was. The Lord says, because you have let go of the man out of your hand that was declared to be destroyed, it will be your life for his life, your people for his people. And the king of Israel went to him to his house with a heavy and displeased heart. May God be with you in everything and every way.